My name is Marty. I'm 14. The drugs I've done are pot, alcohol, LSD, PCP, cocaine, hash, and inhalants. I've done these drugs for 2.5 years, and I am a druggie.
Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., the Greater Washington Strait Program proudly presents a visit from the First Lady of the land and Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales. Hello, I'm Jack Bowden.
And I'm Susan White Bowden, and we're just as excited as the people outside waiting for Princess of Wales and First Lady Nancy Reagan.
And they are running a little bit late. They'll be here in about 5 minutes. But the purpose of this program is to let everyone know just how pervasive and perverse this problem of drug addiction among teenagers really is. And that if you are struggling with this problem within your family, and many are, you are not alone, and that there is help, such as programs as Strait.
This is being called a pilgrimage of hope, because when you take the time to reach out for help, when you know that you aren't alone, there is the help, and with the help there can come the hope.
This is the room you see right now. Everybody is in there. This is one of the massive rap sessions they conduct here between the patients, the young patients, and their families, their parents, and their siblings, their brothers and sisters, because they too are involved in the family and affected by their brother or sister's drug problem or alcohol problem.
It works very much like the AA principle, Alcoholics Anonymous, in that the client stands up and does admit the problem and talk about what has happened in their life because of their drug problem. And parents can, in fact, also stand up and talk about what has happened in their life because of their child's drug use. It can get pretty heavy at times. Accusations can fly, but also they can stand up and say, I didn't realize that you loved me. I didn't know that you cared so much. And sometimes families come together. Sometimes I love you is said for the first time in a very long time.
And they eventually go home, and the family is reunited. The success rate here is extremely high, like around 75%. I believe that's higher than any other drug program. There they're arriving, as you can see, the red carpet out, the Secret Service men moving in. Security, as you can imagine, extremely tight here, inside and outside of the building.
Yeah, all the people that are waiting, hoping to catch a glimpse are across the street and probably won't see a great deal.
There's the First Lady, Nancy Reagan, and there's the Princess of Wales.
Without a hat today, Jack.
Yes. First Lady wearing her favorite color, red.
Mrs. Reagan is going to wave to the crowd, as is Princess Diana. It's very exciting because it does, in fact, show off this facility that is doing so much for the young people and their families in this area, not just in this area,
but this is one
all
of
across the country.
seven such facilities, and an eighth is about to open in Dallas, Texas. Okay, they're inside now, and they're going right now into some private counseling sessions with some of the patients here and their parents, and also they'll be talking with the director here who will explain the program to them. And in about 10 or 15 minutes, they'll be coming out and going into that large room we showed you before for that big rap session between the parents and the young people.
Yes, and I think now, Jack, while we're waiting for Mrs. Reagan and Princess Diana to come out of their private meetings with the officials here at Strait, let's take a look at that tape that I did last week, okay? It will show you what goes on here and why they're here.
Strait Family Treatment Program to help you?
This Strait Drug Treatment Center in Virginia and the 4 others across the country have helped hundreds of young people between the ages of 12 and 21 kick their drug habits.
I did pot, alcohol, diet pills, cocaine, LSD, mushrooms, mescaline, and speed. I'm sure if I was out there right now, I'd be probably, either close to shooting up cocaine or I'd be shooting cocaine.
16-year-old Julie Griffiths, like many of these teenagers who were chemically dependent and out of control, was tricked by her parents into coming to Straight and being admitted for treatment. But now she thanks them, as does 17-year-old Aronis Martinonis.
The reason they put me in the program is because they didn't think I'd live until the summer. I'd die in a car wreck or something like that, or overdosing. And at times, it scares me. It still does. And I feel really appreciative that they put me in here. I couldn't get anything going for my life, and I always felt like I was a failure, and I really hated myself. And since I've come in the program, I've changed that a lot. I can see myself as a person that does good things.
Rap therapy is important in the Straight program, based on the concept that peer pressure got the child involved with drugs. Supervised peer pressure helps get him or her off drugs and headed toward an improved self-image that can keep them off drugs. Straight is kids helping kids, parents helping parents, families helping families. And this is what has impressed First Lady Nancy Reagan. When Mrs. Reagan's concerns about teenage drug use went public, she was made aware of the Straight program. She was invited to see it in action, and she liked what she saw.
Mrs. Reagan has not been to this Straight program in Springfield, Virginia, outside of Washington, D.C., but she has been to 2 others in the country, one in Florida and one in Ohio, and she was impressed. And so when Princess Diana wanted to see what's being done in this country to cope with the drug problem among our youth, Mrs. Reagan immediately thought of Straight.
Mrs. Reagan and Princess Diana will be escorted around this Straight facility by 2 former clients who are now on staff, Mike Kirsch and Kathy Turner.
I feel excited. I think it's something that is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I don't think I'd ever have this chance if I wasn't gone through the program myself and worked here. I'm very excited towards it, and I feel proud.
The message that Mrs. Reagan and Princess Diana will get from the Straight kids and staff is one that all parents need to hear.
Drug use, alcohol use as a minor is just not acceptable.
The Straight program takes a minimum of 1 year, but it is time well spent when a parent hears these words.
I know I don't want drugs anymore. I know I don't want them. They screwed me over in my past, and I went really down with them, and I do not want them anymore.
Where there is help, there is hope for a straight life.
Jack, all that shaking of the fist is the energy, the outward motion that's the opposite of what you do when you take drugs and when you're laid back. That's their energy, just being called on, just to raise their hand to be called on.
That's right. The first part of this program is to get them off drugs and then to move on toward excellence, to realize their full potential, to get them out and back to what they could be and should be and were once before drugs became involved in their lives.
Yes,
there they are.
There they are. First Lady Nancy Reagan.
And right behind her, the Princess of Wales, Her Royal Highness.
They have been prepped as to what they are about to see and what this program is all about.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm a junior staff member and a graduate of the program. I'll be doing the open meeting today with my sister Barbara, who's a senior staff member and also a graduate of the program. Right now, we'd like to have a guy do his introduction who's been here from 3 to 14 days, then a girl do her introduction, then an old-comer girl to talk about some of the changes she's made since she's been in the program.
Hi, my name is Marty. I'm 14. The drugs I've done are pot, alcohol, LSD, PCP, cocaine, hash, and inhalants. I've done these drugs for 2.5 years, and I am a druggie.
How long have you been straight, Marty?
Been straight for 5 days.
Okay.
And I'd like to talk about a past incident that happened to me and a friend. We had run away from home, and we were doing cocaine and Valiums, and we had gone to some steps that were really bummy in a way, and we had passed out, and I feel pretty bad about that because I know now that a lot of things could have happened then that I didn't think about at the time, and I could have woke up and been somewhere else or...
So how does that make you feel when you look back on it, Marty?
Ashamed, really ashamed.
Does it scare you?
Yeah, a lot. And one thing I've learned about myself since I've been in straight is that I have a pretty bad drug problem and that I want help with it. And a short-term goal for me is that I'm going to learn my 7 steps by Wednesday and go over them with my old comer. And
Do you have a past incident you want to talk about in group?
yeah, that I had done LSD, and I want to talk about it in group, and it's pretty painful to talk about because it scares me when I go back to it because some feelings that I had in it. And a long-term goal for me is that I want to be a staff member of Straight before I leave the program.
Okay, Marty.
Take a deep breath. Hi, my name's Jean. I'm 18. The drugs I've done are pot, alcohol, hash oil, Thai stick, treated pot, mescaline, mushrooms, cocaine, speed, absinthe, prescriptions over the counters, rush, nitrous oxide, and a bunch of trash drugs. I did drugs for 3 years. I've been in the program for a year and 2 months, and I'm on 5th phase. And, you know, I was thinking about my past when I was standing on the side of a group, and I thought about a time I had carved in my eye so I could get attention to do drugs. And, you know, I had been home alone, and my druggy friend, I think she was talking to her boyfriend on the phone, and I felt lonely, and I just wanted to get high really bad, you know. I guess I just felt so lonely, and there was nobody around, and I went to the bathroom, and I took a needle to my eye, and I started digging in it because I wanted my friends to come over, and I wanted them to come, you know, support me or get me high, and I wanted friendships, you know, and I felt lonely, and you know, I remember my eye really wasn't bleeding, so I took, you know, there was a cut in my finger, and I started putting blood in my eye, just, you know, so people would think that I was really seriously injured, so I could get some support and get high, you know. And I guess when I think about it, I just feel scared, you know, because I had gone to such extents to do drugs and to get friendships, because, you know, I mean, the biggest thing I think about was how much I hated myself in my past, and I was in so many people's acceptance, just like I wanted everybody to accept me, and I really didn't accept myself, and, you know, like, I think about now, I've just, you know, I've really learned to like the person who I am, and a long-term goal I have is just like, it's just go into geriatrics. I want to become a private nurse, having my own case as far as taking care of old people, because in my past, I used to take care of my grandfather, and he died on me, and you know, I enjoy taking care of old people, so I'm just going to get a job and train as a nurse's aide, and then, you know, eventually go into geriatrics and become a registered nurse and start taking care of old people. You know, that's basically it. Okay, right now we're going to hear a few parents talk to their kids over the microphone, share their feelings about anything that's going on at home. Love you, Ben. Love you, Pam.
Freddie, I feel hurt, angry, disappointed, and deceived about your dishonesty. Because while I'm hoping that you'll be straight for the rest of your life, I come to find out that the first opportunity you get, you steal money and sneak out of the house at night and sneak back in before anyone can find out that you're gone. And it'll be a long time before you have my trust again. I love you.
Love you, Steve.
Love you, Brady.
Jackie, I feel relieved about you being in the program because it seems to make my life a lot more calmer not having police knocking on my door, lights shining in the house. I love you, Jackie.
Christopher, you made my day. I was really nervous here whether I was going to have to upbraid you or whether I can praise you. I'm really pleased that you've taken this refreshing time to get your strength, and I really look forward to our getting our home situation continue. Love you.
Love you, Mom.
Juliana? Julia, I'm very angry. I'm disappointed that you are not yet taking your drug problem seriously. You've been here 5 months. You've been here 5 months, and you've only shown me that you're still dishonest, and you're not taking it seriously. You're only alive because some kind lady picked you up bloody from a sidewalk 6 months ago, and you're only still alive because 5 months ago we put you in this program. I want you to be straight. I want you to take this seriously. It's your last, perhaps, chance, Juliana. I love you very much. I support you.
Michelle, I haven't been able to see very well here. I'm not sure if you've earned talk or not, staff. The first time you haven't earned it, and I'm really upset. I'm hurt. I'm scared.
Dad, are you upset because she didn't earn talk, or are you upset because of the fact that it shows you she's not working on her problem?
It seems to me for her to earn talk, she has to be working on some problems. I don't know which way this is going. But I'm not going to sit here and badger you. I can only tell you this. I've got more love now than I've ever had for you, Mom, and Tam. I'm not giving up, and I'll hang in there. I love you, Michelle. And I love you, group.
Okay, I hope that through this brief row of parents, we've given you a good idea of what Straight's all about. At this time, I'd like to introduce a most honored guest, Mrs. Reagan, to come up.
This is always first of all, I'm very happy to be here, and Her Royal Highness is very happy to be here also. Straight was one of the first places that I went to when I became involved with the drug problem. And so I have a very soft spot in my heart for it. It's also a very emotional experience to go through the whole. We've had a shortened down version today, but first to the children, to the young people. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of what you're trying to do with your lives and turn your lives around. And I know it takes a lot of courage. But there's a great, big, wonderful world waiting out there for you. And we need you, but we need you clear-eyed and clear-minded. But we do need you, and we want you. And I am very, very proud of all of you. And just stay with it. And I love you, all of you. And to the parents, I know how hard it is for you. I don't think I don't think that there's any see, I'm having trouble. If there's any hurt, like the hurt that a child can give a parent, it's a very special, a special hurt. And it's a special relationship, obviously. And I know how hard it is for you. And I know how hard it is for you to see your children maybe sometimes take a backward step where you hope that they would make a forward step. But if you just hang in there with them, I know they'll make it. I know they will. And I know that we'll beat this. We have to.
There is hope when you reach out for the help. You know, parents do have that incredible ability to deny that their child could be involved in something that is life-threatening, and drugs are life-threatening. Jack mentioned earlier that my 17-year-old son in 1977 committed suicide. Well, several months before that suicide, I found out that he was, in fact, using drugs, and not just experimenting, but using on a daily basis. He was clearly out of control, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to reach out for help. And I lost my son. He clearly was not thinking about life or death rationally. His mind was clouded, and on May 7th, 1977, he committed suicide. I think parents need to know that they can't think that it might be a phase, a teenage phase that will pass. That's what I thought. I thought, please, let this just get by. Maybe he can move on. Maybe he can get out of drugs. Maybe, wishing that it could come true, and not doing anything about it. Jack, as we were talking earlier about some of the officials, with some of the officials here at the Straight program, you can't do that. You must treat it as if it were a disease, a life-threatening disease.
If they had any other disease, you would make sure that they got medical help. You have to interfere. We all want to believe the best about our children and not want to believe that they would do things like become involved with drugs. But we have to step in and get involved and get in the way and risk them hating us so that eventually they may love us again. But you have to get them treatment. You have to get help. And there is help, such as programs like this one.
Hi. My name is Johnny. I have a son named Marty, whom you met at the beginning of this program. That was 9 months ago. A lot of really great things have happened to us since that time. I'd like for you to meet Marty now and let him tell you about some of those changes.
Thanks, Mom. Looking back on that tape, it really shows me how I felt about myself. I really felt lonely and I felt depressed all the time. And, I had a hard time just being myself. And that's something that I've gained in the past 9 months, is that I can be myself, and I can feel proud of who I am. And, it's a good feeling knowing that I can like myself. And, something I want to say to parents out there is if you have any kind of suspicion that your kid's doing drugs, do something about it. Don't just, kind of pass it on. Just, it's something that you need to get a lot of help with. And it's not something that's minor. It's something that is serious. And, your kid doesn't have to be one with real long hair and quote druggy, and have short hair and look good, and have good grades, and just look for the vital signs like lack of family relationship, and the grades dropping, and it's something that you really need to take serious.
The main thing for all parents is to not deny that there is a problem. The sooner you get help for your child, the sooner you'll be a better family, and you'll have help for your family too, because it's very important to get help early. The sooner you do, the better it will be for all of you. And believe you me, it really, really works.
Keep that. You got to give the dog a name. many of you guys started getting high at 16 or under? Okay. 15 and under. 14 and under. 13 and under. 12 and under. 11. 10. How many of you got high with a teacher or some other school personnel? Okay, how many of you got high while you were babysitting? How many of you got the kids high that you were babysitting with? How many of you got high in church?
More, man. Get it away from me, man. It's no good. Get me another one. I still, haven't hit anybody.
My name is Bobby. I'm 12 years old. I started doing drugs in the 5th grade.
Drive with your hands off the wheel. Drive with your eyes closed. Come on.
No, definitely. I'll do it.
Ricky! Leave me alone! I want to get out of here! Please!
Last station.
I haven't done anything. Let me out of here, please! Please! Oh, call me! No! No!
What's your name, honey?
I haven't done anything. I want to go home.
Come on, what's your name?
I want to go home.
See if she's got a wallet.
Let go of me.
Hold still. Come
I
on.
want my daddy.
Come on, hold still. Give me blood and a urine. Use the catheter if you have to. Get me a picture of her skull.
Your daughter's in holding room B, Dr. Bauer. Hello, Mrs. Bauer.
Any internal bleeding?
No.
X-rays?
Negative.
Susan? Honey, it's me.
Mommy. Daddy.
Hi, sweetheart.
I feel awful.
I know.
I don't remember anything.
You're all right. That's the important thing.
I feel so bad about it, Daddy. I just want to go home.
Daddy knows.
Electrolytes normal, everything normal. Ipecac, 30 cc's. What's that about?
Can I see you outside a minute?
Sure.
I had to clean her out, Frank.
What for?
She was bombed out of her skull.
Art, she's never had a drink in her life.
It wasn't just booze. She was loaded with methadone. They all were alcohol and speed.
I don't believe this.
You can check with the lab. There's not even a question. They were spun out on it.
How are the others?
The ones in the back seat got it. Smashed pelvis. The girl, I don't know where, trying to stabilize. The kid who's driving's okay. He's down there waiting with a couple of cops in case you're thinking of paying your respects.
Can I take her home?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Frank. Let me give her a shot of diazepam.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's terrible, Frank.
Mixed methadone and alcohol, you're flying into a mountain.
I don't understand it. I don't believe it. We're going to the movies, just the two of them. Susan and Lisa, the Powells are supposed to drive her home. She didn't even know those boys. She'd never do a thing like this.
How you doing back there, Possum?
Okay.
What kind of sandwiches did your mother make?
Tuna salad, egg salad, ham and cheese. Gonna be that long a talk, huh?
You get egg or tuna.
Mom puts too much relish in the tuna.
Mom makes you tuna all the time. Why don't you tell her?
I don't want to hurt her feelings. Guess it sort of opened things, didn't it?
How do I start, sweetheart?
You're the daddy.
I just don't get it.
Well, we were walking to the movies, and these two boys came by in this car.
Two boys.
We knew them, sort of. I mean, we'd seen them at school. And they said they'd drive us to the movies.
Okay.
They had beer in the car.
Just beer?
And this stuff.
Did you know what it was?
Well, I remember they just said, try it. And I did.
It was methadone.
Speed?
You didn't know.
It was speed? They just said to take it and it'd be okay. I didn't know what it was.
I thought you had more sense than that.
I know you did, Daddy.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
No. At school, this girl gave me a couple tokes on her marijuana once in the girls' room. I did that once.
I know you know kids that mess with drugs.
My friends don't. She wasn't a friend. I'm awful sorry, Daddy. I know how it makes you feel, and that's the worst part.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I guess you just can't forget it. But I'll never do it again.
I'm not going to punish you, sweetheart. I never had to. You're too bright.
It was so awful. I felt so scared. I don't know why kids do it.
Eat your mother's,
Tuna?
tuna.
o'clock. Meet the Jocelyn's at the club. 45 minutes. Now don't get up. You're what I need, not the Jocelyn's. Oh, do you believe it? God, that's so...
I don't believe it.
What?
I don't believe what she said.
What are you talking about?
I don't believe that it was the first time she took drugs.
Frank, please. Just don't do this. We'll talk about it later. I mean, it was the first time. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is her room. You have no right to go through her things.